Hey, in the forest again, and this time I would like to talk about science, what the so-called science, and the advanced technology of the past. Uh, I watched a video of a man in Zimbabwe who I think studied Nikola Tesla's idea of making things work without electricity. And so he had a television that worked without electricity, just from the energy from the ether. And he did the same with a car. And I think that is, what would really help humanity are these kind of inventions. And of course, they're held back because that would be free energy. So then we shouldn't have to pay at all anymore for energy. The same for a car, the gas becomes really expensive. Imagine if there would be cars that wouldn't need any gas and no electricity was needed, and that you can just drive away for free. And so I actually fear for that man's life, because you know how the elite think about the normal people. They say that are a lot smarter than they are. In spite of their eugenics, trying out stuff, I think they become a lot dumber themselves, and we are getting smarter. And I think they realize as well that our creative ideas is not something that they can do, so they have to use us for that. Um, but anyways, after I watched that video, I think our ideas, creativity, our intuition is worth a lot more than you think. Right now, the Pfizer papers came out and they're very negative about the jab. So a lot of people who didn't have that a right feeling about it and didn't take it, they're relieved right now. And it was all like, oh, it was safe and effective, and believe the science, all about the science. And they think, well, the science can work for good and for bad, and it's used very often for bad, and we have to be aware of that. Um, Anyways, I was also thinking about, okay, let's say they want this transhumanism thing happening. They want the 5 grams rollout, and nothing in favor of our health or well-being for sure. The 17 sustainable development goals that they have for their Great Reset or the New World Order. So let's say that the awakening of the people isn't going fast enough, and they are installing all these smart cities everywhere, and they cancel cash. Okay, so what if they did install everything? Is it there still a way to go back? And I think that as the truth will always come out and the good will always win it from evil, I think there will be an exit also at the end, or at the end, if everything is already implemented. In the book From This Perfect Day from R11, it was also the Unicomp, was that major computer that was controlling everybody and manipulating the people. And they attacked, or what was the name again? Chip. He destroyed that huge computer by destroying the cooling system, because it couldn't. Every computer, gives off heat. I remember when I was a French teacher in Canada, and I actually have my own language school as well, but that's maybe then another video. But I worked at Silfo at the time, and there was this one computer room, and somehow the heat didn't shut off at night, and then the next day it was like a sauna in there, and there were all these computers, they were on, and everything was overheating. So the firemen came because they were afraid of things catching fire, and because it also the smell was like a kind of a chemical smell, like really like a burning of plastic, really scary. So it took off all the electricity, and but when things overheat for computers or any electronical system, it will stop working. It will be overheating. It will happen with your phone as well. Your phone is lying in the sun. It will say like, okay, you have to cool it off because it's overheating. And so that's a weakness of their big ideas, is that it has to stay cool. And then I come back to the climate change thing, that they say, we should not have any global warming. But I think their idea of, also, let's call it just a huge computer, it needs to be cooled off constantly. So they are against global warming. It should be maybe good for us, but not good for them. So it was just an idea that I had, and I thought, okay, I'll just make a video about it. But yeah, especially that guy from Zimbabwe, I think, wow, that is just amazing. Having this car drive without gas and without electricity, and he has studied the advanced technology from the past, because in the past we were so much more clever and we were all knowledgeable about all things. And now with this awakening, I think we start to discover that everything that we've been told has been a lie, or almost everything, and that we're so much more than that we think we are. Um, and I think it's a beautiful thing that it happened, but also a bit sad that it has to come to this, that we have been dumbed down so much. And I think food is a huge part of it. Bad nutrition leads to that your brain doesn't work properly, and then you're just easy to manipulate. Yeah, so, but the Great Awakening is happening, so that is positive. And I think the internet has been a gift, and it will also be our biggest enemy,